I feel ill. I feel ill. I feel sick. We're living in a timeline. Where Tottenham Hotspur, Spurs, have won a trophy. And on top of that, a major European trophy. My brain doesn't want to compute it. It doesn't want to compute. It's not, there's an error. Error 404 showing up in my brain. Error 404. This does not make sense. Tottenham Hotspur. Spurs have won something. Spurs have won a trophy. And not just a trophy, they've won a European trophy. Spurs. My problem tonight is not with Spurs. Yeah, it's bad enough that they've actually lifted something. I mean, Arsenal, you're in the mud, right? That's one. That's it is what it is. But on top of that, Tottenham, enjoy your night. I've just seen them lift a European trophy, bruv. Like, it's not computing. It doesn't make any flipping sense. But the ones that are responsible for this are not Tottenham. Tottenham have won that. Good luck. And Ange actually said it. He always wins something in his second season. You know what? Fair play to the geezer. He actually followed through. And he done it at Tottenham. Listen, I'm going to say this before I move on from Spurs. If I'm Ange, I'm leaving tonight. I am leaving tonight. It's not going to get any better. You could not pick a better moment for your career to make yourself look like a king than to leave Tottenham after having won a major European competition. If you leave tonight, you are basically a footballing god, right? So, Ange, if I was him, I'd be saying goodbye Tottenham, I'm out of here. And then he will have all the options in the world because people will be looking at him like he is the second coming of the Messiah for what he's accomplished tonight. So, that's Tottenham. Enjoy your night. Man United. You had one job. One. And you know what that job is? That job was to make sure that the bottlers would bottle it. That's all you had to do. The team that are renowned for bottling need to bottle tonight. That's it. It's the easiest job in the world. And you couldn't flipping follow through with that, could you? You couldn't, no. That's too much of a job for you. It's just too much. There's something you can't handle. It's too big. You can't do it. Because you're that flipping feeble. Yeah? You're feeble to that point where you can't stop Tottenham, the bottlers, winning a final. You're that feeble. Bloody hell. Manchester United. This is Manchester. This is what Man United become. Bloody hell. This is Man, and I'm not just saying that because of the result. I'm saying it because of the game. Tottenham put themselves into positions to score. Once they got that goal, they done everything that they wouldn't normally do just to protect that lead and win that final. Ange understood the job. Ange understood the job today. You don't play finals, you win them. He understood that. United? Nah. And you know what? It's not even on Ruben Amorim. It's not. Him taking United job was the worst thing he could have done. And that's hindsight 2020. You know, there was a rumor a couple of days ago that apparently he almost resigned in January, but then he was convinced to stay. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. He's walked into a war zone. And some would say he's not helped matters, but I'm sorry. When he was at Sporting, the man was a king. He had no business coming to this job. But like I said, hindsight is 2020. This is Manchester United. The levels tonight that we saw for Man United were on the floor. So much so that Tottenham found a way to deal with it. Because you put Tottenham against top opposition, they can't handle it. Let's not pretend Tottenham are brilliant. They're not. But they played Man United tonight. And Man United are worse than them, funnily enough. This is what Manchester United has become. The Man United. United should be ashamed. Absolutely ashamed. And some are going to say, oh no, but you can't talk. You're a Chelsea fan. Where are you lot? I'm coming there. Because tonight is a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call for my club to not become like yours. That's where I'm heading off with this video. But I have to start off with the state that Man United are in. They've not won a league title in almost 13 years. Yeah, it'll be 12 years. Yeah, 12 years this season. 13 years next season. They've not won a league title. They've won a couple of trophies here and there when they were actually, post Alex Ferguson, when they actually moved to a couple of decent managers, you would say. But overall, the trajectory has been absolutely horrific. And since the Glazers made the decision to give up 25% of their stake over to Ineos, it's gone all to hell. I never thought I'd be able to say that post Ineos coming in, it would get worse. Because the Glazers were bad enough. Now the Glazers have Ratcliffe and Ineos, it's gotten worse. And we're not just hearing it about on the pitch, they're suffering on the pitch, they're suffering off the pitch. Everyone's getting made redundant. Amram had to pay out of his own pocket for staff to attend this final. If they had won tonight, there wasn't going to be a parade, there was going to be a barbecue. Staff are not getting their incentives anymore. They're getting flipping, Mark and Spencer vouchers or what? Flipping hell. You lot should be ashamed of yourselves, man. Honestly, that's like bottom of the barrel. Bottom of the barrel that we're talking here. And on top of that, they find themselves in a position now in the league table which is disgusting. For a club like Manchester United, they should be ashamed. And now they've lost this final to Spurs. Unbelievable. Unflipping believable. But that is what happens when a football club is not run properly. No matter how big you were, you can always come tumbling down, is the lesson here. So I'm going to turn my attention now to Chelsea and to Blueco. Look at Man United. They are us, but in about 5 years' time. Do we want to head down that same road, or do we actually want to operate seriously and operate like a proper football club? Because I would remember Man United fans before that wouldn't even accept participating in the Europa League, let alone advocating to win the final, or making it look like a big deal, or holding on to the fact that if we win this final, we can get Champions League because they're sitting in 16th in the Premier League table. Having not even tried to compete for the Premier League title in the last 12 years, they've not even come close. Some would say they've come close. Jose finished in second, Oli finished in second, and then that's it. But that's what it goes to show. What's happened post that? They've plummeted. So let's not try and make it look like what's happening to Arsenal right now. They keep finishing second, it's okay. Like that's some sort of a benchmark. No. You need to be able to show that your team and your club is worthy. And it's there in the conversation no matter what, as a team that everyone takes seriously, that you know are going to be competing for every single trophy possible. We used to operate that way. Everyone would say, yeah, Chelsea. Name me a team that's in contention for the Premier League trophy. Chelsea. FA Cup, Chelsea. The League Cup, Chelsea. Champions League, Chelsea. We used to operate like that. Man United used to operate like that. But they've fallen so far. These teams around us that are falling in this sort of capacity should be a lesson to Blueco, to Chelsea. Be careful. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Money isn't everything. it's balanced with success. Do not abandon that, because you end up looking like Man United did tonight. And the way they have been looking. Or the amount of years that Arsenal fans have been waiting and they can't get it over the line. Or the amount of years that Tottenham have waited and tonight they've won something, they're going to look and go, oh my God, this is such a success. No, it's not. One trophy in how long? Not won a trophy since 2008, and that was a League Cup, and that was courtesy of our mistake because we were operating under Avram Grant, and we bottled it. And prior to that, last time Tottenham had won something, I swear it was in the 90s, early 90s, wasn't it? Is that the standard? Now, for Tottenham, well, you've got to start somewhere, and tonight is maybe that for them. But the way that they're operating, no, this is why I said it's best if Ange was to leave tonight. Just get out of there now, mate. You ain't getting it better than this. Because it's the history of the Tottenham. Although, I got to say, bottlers and all that, yeah, maybe that conversation's gone down a little bit now because they've actually won something. Congrats. I hate to say it. It disgusts me. Man United, you've disgusted me tonight. I have to actually say congrats to Spurs. Bloody hell. But, this is a lesson. Chelsea, start operating with levels now before we head down the same path as all of these clubs that I've just mentioned. We don't have to head down that path. We've got all the resources, we've got the fan base, we've got the standards, we've got everything that helps prevent this sort of thing. Hence why I'm even mentioning all of this now, because I know that there are Chelsea fans looking in the same way that I'm looking at and going, God forbid this is our football club as well. Because now, we don't operate that way. That's not in our DNA. Hell no. Let's operate seriously. Get what we need. Do what we got to do this season. The season's done. Win on Sunday. Get Champions League football. Go into the window. Set the levels. Get the spine that this team needs. Go into next season and let's start competing for silverware again. How about we do that? Instead of waiting around with mediocrity like we've witnessed tonight. Because that's where it gets you. I can't believe Tottenham have won something. It doesn't want to compute. Things come and go. What goes around comes around. That's life. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. United, it's best you liquidate. Just liquidate now. Yeah, you've got nothing to live for at this point. You let Tottenham win a major European trophy. What's left? Have a good night. Subscribe and peace.